Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had Pamela Anderson from the 90s, definitely not from today, smash the subscribe button. Go and have her smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons: Herb Yuma AZ, CJ Zavalza, Coleslaw, EOP Whisperer, Las Vegas Flights Live, Shower Shark, Fuck Your Chest Pains, Priazi's Nuts, Lockdown 5, Crystal Bond, La Reina, Hernan, Don't Trip, Winston, Armando, Alejandro, Trelero 760, Breathing Underwater, El Skid, Hobie Cat, Lead with Love, Elbert 12, AI Vega, Esquiel, Big Bad 48, JT, Nova, Jack, Linda the Retired CEO, Michigan Wolverines, Mikey 559, the homie Marius, Chevelle 66, Abuelita Irma, Abuelita's Journey, Gigi, and Daus Herrero. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, I'm going to be going live right after this episode over there. Make sure you hit the link in the description below. You're definitely missing out. This episode right here, man. Voice is still gone from the Cowboys game. Inglewood in South Central LA. That's right. Well, with that being said, protest. You turn on the television set, you be seeing protests of all kinds, man. Everything. Everybody want to protest these days. Hector, working for the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, did you ever come across any protests? Boy, did I come across some protests. Absolutely. Now, you talking about Blue, the inmates protesting, or the family members of the inmates protesting? Mostly the family members. But that's not to say that if you're an inmate in Blue, you cannot protest. Well, you're not supposed to, but they be doing it. One could say that the hunger strikes to release the heavy hitters from the shoes, Pelican Bay State Prison and Corcoran State Prison, was a form of a peaceful protest. I mean, I would classify it as that. They were protesting for something, and they got it in a peaceful manner. Thank God I never came across this on the line, like working the yards, where you would have a massive group of inmates like refusing to go back into their cell or into their building and refuse to lock it up because they were unhappy with some of the circumstances or a situation. And I say, like a sit down. And I say, thank God, because, like, I don't think I would have appreciated that. I don't think I would have known how to handle that. You know, as a young officer, you take things, well, you're not supposed to take things personal. But your mind is in that robot mode, like, hey, these inmates are supposed to lock it up at this time. We have count time. We got yard recall. We have day room recall. So, like, your first instinct is like, hey, let's lock these dudes up. Let's lock them up, right? Like physically, forcefully. But those days are gone, and it's not even worth it. You know, looking again, this bird's eye view is amazing. What for, man? What for? You're not gonna beat the machine, right? So doesn't matter either which way. You guys want to hang out in the yard? Go ahead, man. Call the warden down here. Who gives a fuck? I'll knock out some pull-ups while we're all waiting. I've been known to knock out pull-ups on the pull-up bar. Anyhow, I'm glad that never happened, so to say. Did I come across inmates refusing to lock it up? Yeah, all the time, but nothing like classified as a protest, right, or a disruption of the program, like on a large scale like that. Now let's be talking about the family members. Let's do it, Hector. You're a whole different man now, right? You're a fucking free agent. You're a civilian. You got no ties whatsoever to law enforcement. Zero. You're still a law-abiding citizen, right? But you don't be pushing the law. Well, towards the end, I wasn't pushing no damn law, man. Starbucks, coffee, and Amazon. That's a fucking law that I was pushing. Let me get that Prime delivery. I don't give a fuck about this place. Anyhow, check this out, man. As the public information officer, PIO, the right-hand man of the warden, be wearing a suit, be wearing a gun, be wearing a badge looking like an LAPD detective. I did like that. And simultaneously, crisis response team commander, the SWAT team commander. Two fucking of probably the most important roles in a prison system. Your boy was wearing both hats at one time, man. For that warden. Wow. Talk about responsibility. Talk about stress. Man, that's like being a heavy hitter for the North and the South at the same time. It's like, ooh, I got a lot on my plate right now, man. I'll be working up north and working down south. That's a lot on my plate, right? I'm not going to give up game. I never do give up game on anybody or anything. But the majority of times we would know when a protest was going to happen at our prison, Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility, RJDCF, in Otay Mesa, California, San Diego. Well, you got to kind of stop that, prevent that, minimize the disruption, right? Minimize the disruption to the institution. Now you're probably thinking like, is that all it boils down to, Hector? Minimizing the disruption? Well, yeah, man. Look, check it out. Cop or no cop, common sense or no common sense. Here's a prison. Here's people that guard the prisoners. Here's the prisoners. Here's a it's kind of common sense. Here's a schedule of how shit is supposed to go by the minute. Boom, boom, boom. The goal, hopefully, is to have a smooth day, right? Everybody goes, eats when they need to eat. Everybody goes to yard when they go to yard. Everybody locks it up when they're supposed to lock it up. We count them, and we just repeat the whole cycle every day. So any fucking disruption any which way kind of fucks off the program, right? Now, I'm not a stickler, right? But I also like to take it easy, man. I like to be chill and posted, man. West coasting. West coasting. Oh, man. COVID-19 protest. Mixing of the GP and the SNY, calling it non-designated protest. There was a lot of fucking protests, man, during that time frame of the COVID. A lot of fucking protests. And it was your boy's duty, obligation, responsibility to control that. Right. So what I would do is I would network with other law enforcement agencies. Let's just throw some names out there, whether they were or they were not. California Highway Patrol. Here you go. Hey, what's up, man? Hector Bravo. Yeah, I'm going to need you this Saturday. What you doing? All right, roll through. ASO. San Diego Sheriff Department. Ooh, man, you guys be having extra deputies or chemical agents or any munitions? Yeah, roll through. There'll be a little something down here at Donovan. San Diego PD. And some other agencies, right? Some other agencies. So, coordinate that, right? And this is down south, right? You got Border Patrol down there. You got all kinds of agencies down there, man, at your disposal. And yeah, we don't work together, but law enforcement it's kind of that brotherhood, sisterhood, that, hey, man, one day I'm going to need your help. Fucking help me. I got you today, G. Right? I got you. Okay. Now what about, that's logistics and support. What about like strategic planning? Yeah, man, we can't be smashing fucking family members, right? We can't be picking them up, suplexing them, body slamming them, zip tying them, kicking them in the nuts or the nads. Like, that's going to be fucking frowned upon. We're probably going to get thrown in jail, fired, and somebody's going to be recording it with their fucking cell phone. That's just all bad. That's not going to happen, right? So how do we quell this? How do we stop this? How do we minimize it? Well, for the most part, there's only one way in and one way out of Donovan, for the most part. We'll set up there, right? The goal is to not give them as much access to the prison as possible. Why, Hector? What the hell are you guys hiding over there, man? I knew you guys were hiding shit, Green Wall. No, I just fucking told you, man. The prison has to run. If you're over there blocking traffic, you're over there, people cannot come into work or come out of work, right? So we got to keep the roadway clear. This is just me speaking off the top of my head why we do what we do and how we do what we do without giving up game. All right, roadway has to be clear. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, people. Now, do they have Do they have legitimate concerns? I'll be honest with you, man. This is a cool, crazy story. The person that I was across face to face, I was the majority of the time was coordinating those protesters. Like, I'm in contact with those persons. Like, I could reach out to them. They could reach out to me, right? Via social media or whatnot, other means. So that just goes to show you, like, the game. You know, they probably still got loved ones incarcerated. I'm fucking out. I bounce, hit the parachute button. Pew, emergency eject. Get me the hell out of here. So, like, yeah, there's no bad blood there. It was just fucking business, right? Business on my part. And they got loved ones, man. Do they have legitimate concerns? Well, reflecting back in hindsight, yeah, I would say yes, because during COVID, the higher-ups were mixing motherfuckers that shouldn't have been mixed. COVID positive people with COVID negative people for no reason. Think about it, man. Common sense will tell you, if you got one cellmate that's COVID positive and one that's not, I mean, everybody might as well just stay in fucking place, right? Shelter in place. Because this whole moving people that, it got bad. Anyhow, yeah, understandable. They got megaphones. You would see children, right? You might even want to know a funny story. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. I would wear my CRT, Crisis Response Team uniform. It was green, right? It was green. You know, you'd be looking like a SWAT operator. But I was a PIO. So these visitors would be yelling in my face, "We want to speak to the warden. We want to speak to the PIO." And I was hoping my people wouldn't point me out and be like, "He's the PIO." Motherfucker, don't be giving me the Donovan salute. When I first got to Donovan and people were pointing, they were saying, "Hey, that's a Donovan salute," because there's a bunch of rats there. That's what they would tell me. But they kept it cool. And I would just be like, "Oh, don't let them know I'm the PIO," right? I wasn't there to talk, man. What the hell am I going to say? Well, I'm just a mouthpiece for the warden. The warden was nowhere in sight. And those visitors would be yelling too, the protesters. "Where's the warden at? Marcus Pollard, this blood is on your hands." On my head, I'm like, yup, preach, girl. That's the truth. But like, yeah, your boy was trying to be incognito, man, out the fucking way. Because think about it. You got prison guards on the line. You got family members on the line arguing with each other for something that's out of both our control, the higher ups. Higher ups don't be fighting their own battles. It's kind of like politicians. It's kind of like everything else, man. What's the point, right? You got the little ants, the worker ants at the bottom, the little worker bees taking all the I'm telling you guys this, man. You guys should protest at those people's houses. Just saying, man. Everything's public information. You want to get your point across. Coming to the prison and protesting is really not going to do anything other than disrupt the program and piss people off, period. But not the people you want to piss off. Because the warden's out his pad on the weekend. He ain't doing shit. They got administrator of the days, AODs. I'll just give you guys some game on that point. Like, don't protest at the prison. You're just going to disrupt the program. Like, but it's not going to be beneficial, right? Damn, that was pretty good. That's like probably protesting at a car sales lot, saying the prices are too high. Yeah, okay. Like, fuck. I highly doubt that the CEO of goddamn Toyota is going to come down and lower the prices. You see what I'm saying? Probably got to take the fight somewhere else. And by fight, I mean protest. So, would they be getting disrespectful with it, Hector? Oh, my God. They be testing your patience. You don't be seeing in the news when they're in your face calling you a pig, you bitch. You ain't nothing without that badge. Just everything you can think of, right? Think about it. As a CO or sergeant or lieutenant hearing like you ain't shit without the badge. Trust me, there's a lot of people that are shit without the badge, man. And as I stopped caring less and less about the job and my career, I'm thinking like, I'm just gonna snap right here, man. I'm just gonna go off. Fuck it. I'm gonna prove a point, right? I'm gonna prove a point that I am something without the badge. But then again, I already know how the system goes. It's a lose situation, man. Might as well just walk out peacefully out the front door. what was kind of funny but not funny. Check this out. The state of California, CDCR, man, your boy's voice from the Cowboys game, I'm telling you. I felt like a hyena screaming. But I have to wrap this one up. I could feel my voice leaving. It was kind of funny but not funny. The state of California, the department, they stopped transfers, right? They stopped transfers during COVID. And I say COVID because there was fucking probably 20 protests at the prison. But the inmates at Donovan would claim chest pains, right? Oh, I got chest pains. I got to go to the hospital. So an ambulance would come, and when they would go to the hospital and they would return from the hospital, they would be in a van. So the visitors, while protesting, they would see a van coming back with an inmate, and they would lose their fucking mind. I told you guys are still doing transfers. You're trying to kill our loved ones. And in our heads, we're thinking like, only if you fucking knew. Only if you knew that this dude manipulated his way out of the fucking cell to take a free ride out there in the freedom in fucking the hospital, ate some good food, and is coming back. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing a van with an inmate and a cop coming back. And you're alleging that motherfucker just got transferred in from Tehachapi. Now, were there still like mental health crisis beds being transferred around? Yeah, but then again, manipulation of the system. A motherfucker claiming, hey, I'm suicidal, when he ain't. He just didn't get his milk and cookies, right? That AW plumber wasn't there to give him a TV, a hand job, and a radio, wind up type. They would bounce from Chino, Lancaster, mental health crisis bed, and they would be returning like, hey, that's the inmate did that. The inmate did that. We didn't do that shit. They wanted to bounce around the fucking state. So I let you in on a little bit of protest. I could probably do a part 2. There's a lot more that goes on to it. That was just kind of the So the message for today, man, you should read book like The Art of War by Sun Tzu. You should read books on what really matters and who the people you have to take the fight to. Right? Because it's not necessarily the troops on the ground. With that, keep pushing forward.